Hello YouTube! Yesterday it finally happened. The Elder Scrolls 6 got announced. And while a lot of you are very much hyping, I am not. I am not hyping like anyone else because we don't know anything yet. Please, Bethesda itself states that it's in pre-production, so don't hype anything yet, because we don't know anything about the game. They just showed a logo, not even a name for the game, and some cinematic landscape. We don't know anything about the content or anything. Please don't hype it yet. I mean, I understand we are all very glad that it got announced, but yeah, I can't be happy about something I don't know what it's gonna be, just like with Nintendo and Metroid Prime 4 last year at E3. Yes, we're all very glad that they acknowledge it's there, but we don't know anything other than a logo. We don't even have a game name. But with that said, I was against making a video analyzing the trailer, but after all I did it anyway, because people wanted it and because I saw some interesting things, and I haven't watched any other trailer analysis yet, I don't even know if some of them are out. And I would like to thank the people on the Discord for helping me. But with that said, let's just go and analyze what we see. First, what we see is this cinematic landscape, which is probably not a location from the game world. It could be a location from the game rendered in some 3D program, but as the Bethesda have said, they don't have the engine yet, so I highly doubt this is actually in-game footage. So we know that it's in pre-production, the engine hasn't been made yet. Perhaps they made some quest scripts or something, but other than that there's probably nothing. So analyzing what we have in this trailer is very unreliable. So let's just speculate, but don't take my word for the ultimate truth. So which province? The first thing I will rule out, even though it has a really that kind of feel to it, is Akavir. I know that some people get the feeling of Akavir when they look at the landscape, but I just don't think they will put it there, because a lot of people have been speculating it could be Akavir, but it's a slim chance. I say this because the Elder Scrolls only really have an effect on Tamriel as far as we know. They have no association with Akavir whatsoever, so it wouldn't make much sense if a mainline Elder Scrolls game were to be set far away from the Elder Scrolls themselves. So Akavir would be an awesome Elder Scrolls spin-off game maybe, but Elder Scrolls 6 would probably not be set in Akavir. So which province of Tamriel will it be? So let's go and analyze the trailer. The first thing that we see when the trailer opens, if we look closely, is this little bush in the style of a savanna tree. Then when the trailer continues, we see a rocky landscape with some bushes in it. This points even further to savanna landscape. And then when the fog disappears, we see this amazing landscape filled with even more low vegetation and steep mountains in the landscape that are not part of a mountain ridge, and a mountain ridge far in the background. We also see the sea. We can be quite sure that it's the sea, because if you look closely in the trailer near the castle, you can see moving white dots indicating seagulls. I suggest you watch that for yourself, as I'm not good enough at video editing magic to make this stand out, and I'm doing this on my own old laptop since I only get my PC this evening, so I'm sorry. And finally we see that mountain ridge there ending in the sea and just circling around this part of the map. So I think it's the map border, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Because it could also just be that you could go around it, like some mountains in Skyrim. On the mountaintops there's a little bit of snow, not that much snow, but a little at least. And then the elephant in the room, the castle in the middle of nowhere just standing there. It looks to be at least human architecture. It doesn't have the arches of the Khajiits, or the high elf white towers, or Bosmer trees. I mean, this is definitely human style. Whether it's Imperial style, I do not dare to say, but I know that it's not Nordic. That's what I can say for sure. It's perhaps Redguard. There can even be said something about Breton architecture, but the conclusive answer is that we don't know. It looks as if it's built out of sandstone, which would point more to the Redguards, but we don't know, as color could also be a product of lighting. I mean, it could just be grey stone, but because of an intense sun, it could be changed entirely in color. I mean, if you only look in Skyrim with weather, things look completely different depending on if it's stormy weather or if it's sunny weather. Then there's a logo, which is kind of brownish. When I see this logo, I get a feeling it might be a more rural setting, more deserty setting for the game. So let's hear it. What do I think after this evidence? Well, as I said with the desert, probably Hammerfell or maybe elsewhere. So first, why do I think Hammerfell as my primary guess? Well, these mountains we see in the back could maybe, I'm not saying anything yet because it's not, it could be, but I'm not sure. Could maybe be the Cortan Mountains spanning from Taneth to the coast of Rihad near the border or with Cyrodiil. Plus, then the architecture would be Redguard. The climate would also make sense as this area is not desert, more of a mountainous savanna, which would make sense. I mean, we have not seen the entirety of Hammerfell in any of the games, Hammerfell largely being skipped in the ESO, and they could just finish up the story of the human struggle against the Thalmor. Plus, the logo is kind of in Hammerfell colors. Now, the second scenario I envision is elsewhere. It could be that what we see actually here is the Topol Bay, with the mountain ridge in the back actually being the rim. And this is actually quite likely, I think, because then Leowyn would be on the other side of these mountains, the Cyrodiilic city. And the climate makes sense, as this area we see here on the map is not a full-blown desert yet. The problem comes with the fort, because it's not Khajiit architecture. But then again, the fort could be a remnant of the Septim Empire, who have been there for centuries, and I mean, it could no longer be in use. I mean, look, it looks quite ruined. The color scheme would again make sense, and the story could then be focused around the Khajiit struggle against the Thalmor, because they are basically being occupied by the Thalmor. But the conclusive answer is that we don't know. We don't get a name, we didn't get anything concrete in this trailer, it's just a way to calm us down and say, hey, look, it's in production, calm your tits. Since the world is not even being programmed yet, I think we can look forward to another 2 or 3 years of waiting, and so let's just make the best out of that. I hope you liked this short trailer analysis. I certainly didn't enjoy not getting any information on Elder Scrolls 6, but I enjoyed making this. So I hope to see you guys in the next lore video, which will probably be out due tomorrow, or maybe the day after that, depending on how tired I am. Oh, and by the way, Elder Scrolls Blades also got announced. I will probably sign up for the beta. I will not do any speculation videos on it since the release date is quite close, and I don't think it's any use to just speculate on a game that will be out very quick. So I'll probably be covering the lore if I get access to either the beta or just the final game somewhere when it's released. Bye.